forget to subscribe to my channel, and while you're at it, click the bell to be notified of future videos. This block is called Flying Geese. It finishes at 12 inches. And I call it Flying Geese because the only unit you piece are flying geese. There are 12 flying geese in the block, and we're going to use the 4 at a time method to make them, so we'll make quick work of these flying geese. Here are 4 blocks set block to block and rotated alternating blocks. This is your chance to use some really nice prints, your big florals, and to show them off. Patch A is a 2-inch finished half square triangle. These are going to be used for the sky portion of the flying geese. If you're cutting patches, you'll cut 2 7/8 inch squares, cut them in half once on the diagonal for 2 patches. You'll need 24 assorted patches for the background. I'm using just one plain fabric. Here are the AccuQuilt dies that will cut this, and when you're using AccuQuilt, you're cutting the patches, so you'll cut 24. Patch C is a 4-inch finished quarter square triangle, and this is the geese part of the flying geese. If you're cutting patches, you cut 5 1/4 inch square, cut them in half twice on the diagonal for 4 patches. You'll need 3 different fabrics, and you'll need 4 patches of each. Here are the AccuQuilt dies that will cut this shape. Since we're going to do the flying geese 4 at a time, we keep these in squares. So we'll need 12 squares of the background, and keep this in squares, and we'll need 1 square of each of the fabrics. And patch B is a 4-inch by 12-inch finished rectangle. We got 12.5 inch by 4.5 inch rectangles. Now the first thing we're going to do is make the flying geese. Here are the fabrics I've chosen. I'm using just a off-white fabric for the background. Here are my 3 flying geese fabrics, and here's my focus fabric in the middle. Now we'll take all of patch A and all of patch C and make our 12 flying geese units. If you're not familiar with the 4 at a time method, then stay tuned for a short tutorial that shows you how. For flying geese 4 at a time, you need 1 large square and 4 small squares. The large square is the geese part of the flying geese, and the small squares are the sky part of the flying geese. On the back of each of the small squares, draw a diagonal line. Place 2 of the small squares like this on the large square, right sides together. You line up these edges and make sure these lines line up. Then you're going to stitch 1/4 inch on both sides of that drawn line. Here are the 2 stitching lines on either side of the marked line, and now we cut it in half on the marked line. Now you'll open these up and press your seams open on both sides. Cut off the nubs. Now you'll place another square in this corner. Here's your diagonal line, and stitch on either side of the diagonal line. Do that for both of these. When you're stitching, your stitches should come out or start right at this point, this intersection here, this 90-degree angle. Cut this in half on the diagonal line, and you have these 2. Press your seams open and cut off your nubs, and do the same for this one. 4 flying geese. The 12 flying geese are all ready. Now we're going to sew 2 strips of 6 flying geese each. It doesn't matter which order you want to put them in, just an order that pleases you. You can have the same order, or you can totally mix them up like that. So I'll sew this row together and press the seams open, and then sew this together and press the seams open. When you're sewing these together, just 2, you'll want to put this on top, the pointed one on top. When you stitch your 1/4 inch, you can stitch just above the point here so it doesn't cut your point off, and then finish stitching your 1/4 inch. And do that for all of them. Now we have our 2 strips of flying geese ready, and we put them like this. And we'll just simply sew them to either side of the center panel. And you'll want the flying geese on top so you can see where your points are, so you won't cut any points off. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and while you're at it, click the bell to be notified of future videos.